Hello, everyone. Can I ask you something a bit personal? Have you looked at yourself in the mirror lately and felt like your body is aging faster than it should? Maybe it's that sudden knee or back pain that just won't go away, the heaviness in your head and trouble focusing in the morning, or that lingering fatigue that follows you throughout the day. You might think it's normal, just a natural part of getting older. But what if it's not? What if those discomforts are actually warning signs we've been ignoring all along? And what if some of your daily morning habits, like drinking fruit juice or having oatmeal for breakfast, are secretly making your cells age faster, even faster than if you smoked 15 cigarettes a day? Sounds exaggerated, doesn't it? But the truth is, for many people, it's exactly what's happening. My name is Dr. Richard Coleman. For over 3 decades, I've treated thousands of patients across the United States, especially those entering their retirement years. But today, I want to share an incredible lesson from a 98-year-old physician, Dr. Harold Matsumoto, who has dedicated his entire life to uncovering the secrets of longevity. He discovered that most of us are unknowingly shortening our own lifespan through small, everyday habits. Once, he told me about one of his patients, a 72-year-old retired banker named Mr. George Miller from Austin, Texas. Mr. Miller seemed to live a healthy life. He always ate nutritious breakfasts, took morning walks, and maintained a balanced diet. Yet somehow, he constantly felt dizzy, forgetful, and deeply exhausted every single day. He couldn't understand why. What Dr. Matsumoto found in Mr. Miller's routine was surprisingly simple, but so profound that it completely transformed his health in just 30 days. And trust me, Mr. Miller's story is just one of many real-life examples. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 hidden daily habits that silently speed up aging, as identified by Dr. Matsumoto. More importantly, I'll show you simple, free steps to eliminate them starting today. No extreme diets. No expensive supplements. Just small, practical changes that can lead to a healthier body and a longer life. Make sure you watch until the very end, because the 5th discovery is the most shocking of all. It has nothing to do with food or exercise, yet scientific research shows it's the single most powerful factor in determining whether someone will live a long and happy life or not. Everything I'll share comes from Dr. Matsumoto's decades of clinical experience and is supported by peer-reviewed scientific research. This is real, trustworthy wisdom you can rely on. Before we begin, I'd love to know, how many of you have ever felt like your body is aging faster than it should? If you have, type yes in the comments below. By doing so, you're not only acknowledging what you feel, you're helping others realize they're not alone. Alright then, let's begin with the first longevity killer, the one that most often goes unnoticed. Number 1, morning blood sugar spikes. Let's start with a habit that, for decades, most people have believed is the key to starting the day right: breakfast. We've been taught to believe that a warm bowl of oatmeal, 2 slices of whole grain toast, or a glass of fruit smoothie is the smartest choice. It feels right. It feels responsible. But in reality, as I've seen time and time again in my practice, this so-called healthy habit can actually be one of the main reasons your body ages faster than it should. The problem lies in the blood sugar spike. The moment you eat something sweet or starchy in the morning, your blood glucose levels skyrocket. Imagine a calm pond at sunrise, and then someone throws a large stone into it. That's exactly what happens to your circulatory system every time you start your day with a high-carb breakfast. This sudden surge sends your body into panic mode, triggering internal inflammation, a kind of silent fire that slowly damages your blood vessels and accelerates brain aging. So why does this become more dangerous as we get older? After the age of 50 or 60, the body's ability to stabilize blood sugar drops significantly. The pancreas, cells, and insulin system no longer work as efficiently as they once did. The same breakfast that felt fine in your 30s now becomes a heavy burden for your aging body. This is the start of a vicious cycle. You eat what you think is a healthy breakfast, but 2 hours later, around 10 a.m., your energy crashes. You feel lightheaded, your focus fades, and fatigue hits hard. So you reach for another cup of coffee, or worse, a sugary snack, just to make it to lunch. That's the blood sugar roller coaster that keeps you tired without knowing why. Modern science has now confirmed its long-term impact. Studies show that people who frequently experience sharp glucose spikes have shorter telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of DNA strands. Shorter telomeres mean your cells are aging faster. In other words, this habit can silently add 10 to 15 years of biological aging to your body without you realizing it. This was exactly what happened to Mr. George Miller, the 72-year-old retired banker from Austin, Texas, whom I mentioned earlier. Mr. Miller was extremely disciplined. He even brought a food journal to every consultation. Every morning, his breakfast was always the same, a healthy smoothie made with banana, berries, yogurt, and a little honey. Sounds perfect, right? But when we calculated it, that drink contained over 40 grams of sugar, a hidden sugar bomb disguised as a health food. Without realizing it, for nearly 20 years, Mr. Miller had been aging himself prematurely through this very. Number 2, chronic dehydration. Now, let's talk about the second silent killer, one that most people never even notice. In fact, even many doctors overlook it. The truth is, most of us live in a state of mild dehydration every single day, and worse, we don't even realize it. We usually only think about water when we feel thirsty. But water isn't just something that quenches thirst, it's the river of life that keeps every single cell in your body working properly. It flushes out toxins and metabolic waste, lubricates the joints to keep them flexible, and keeps the skin plump, firm, and youthful. But when the body doesn't get enough water, all of those vital processes slow down. Imagine a rushing river that suddenly turns into a sluggish stream. That's what happens inside your body when you're dehydrated. Toxins build up, metabolism slows, and aging accelerates far more quickly than you'd expect. The problem becomes worse with age. After the age of 50 or 60, your natural sense of thirst begins to fade. Your body no longer sends clear signals when it needs fluids. When you were younger, you'd feel thirsty right away, but now, you could be severely dehydrated and not feel it at all. That's why so many seniors suffer from chronic dehydration without knowing the real cause. Think about this for a moment. Do you often feel tired for no reason? Do your joints ache, and you assume it's just arthritis or aging? Or do you frequently experience constipation or recurring headaches? It's possible that none of those are really about age, but rather signs that your body is running low on water. Research shows that even mild dehydration, as little as 2%, can reduce your ability to think and focus by up to 20%. Imagine going through your day with 1/5 of your brain power missing, just because you didn't drink enough water. I'm reminded of one of my patients, a 69-year-old retired teacher from Portland, Oregon, named Mrs. Linda Harris. She loved tending to her small backyard garden, but the pain in her knees and back made it hard for her to kneel and care for her plants. She drank coffee and tea every day, but rarely plain water. When we tried a simple hydration program introduced by Dr. Harold Matsumoto, the results were nothing short of remarkable. Within 3 weeks, Mrs. Harris returned with a bright, glowing face. She could move freely without pain, her skin looked fresher, and her energy had completely returned. Smiling, she said, "I feel like I've come back to life, doctor." Number 3, chronic stress. Now, let's talk about the third killer of longevity, something that may be the most powerful and silent accelerator of aging in modern life: low-level chronic stress. I'm not talking about major life crises like losing a loved one or battling a serious illness. This kind of stress is subtler, sneakier, and precisely because of that, far more dangerous. It's the quiet, daily worries about retirement savings running low, health not being what it used to be, or concerns about your children and grandchildren. Over time, these anxious thoughts become like background noise, constant, familiar, and almost invisible. We start to think it's just a normal part of life. But our bodies know better. Our bodies never forget. When you live in a constant state of alertness, your body is flooded with a stress hormone called cortisol. In the short term, cortisol can be helpful. It sharpens focus and provides quick bursts of energy when you need them. But when cortisol stays elevated day after day, it begins to destroy your body from within. Muscles weaken, fat builds up around the abdomen, and perhaps most frightening of all, research shows that chronic cortisol exposure can shrink the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for memory and learning. Why does stress become more dangerous as we age? Because the body's natural off switch for stress starts to wear out. When we're young, we can bounce back quickly after a difficult time. But in retirement, when daily routines loosen and life feels less structured, worries tend to linger endlessly, without closure. The body forgets how to relax. We end up living in constant alert mode, which is exhausting and deeply aging. Take a moment to reflect. Do you struggle to fall asleep because your mind won't stop spinning? Do you ever feel tightness in your chest without knowing why? Do your shoulders, neck, or jaw often feel tense? Those are your body's ways of crying for help, signs that you're drowning in stress hormones. Scientists can now even measure the biological age of human cells, and the results are astonishing. Chronic stress can make your body 10 to 15 years older biologically than your actual age. Just imagine, 15 years. I once worked with a patient named Mr. Robert Johnson, a 74-year-old retired manager from Chicago, Illinois. Physically, he was healthy, he exercised regularly and ate well. But his face always looked tired, his eyes dull, as if he carried an invisible weight. After some digging, we found the culprit: years of accumulated stress. He started every morning watching anxiety-inducing news and ended every night worrying about his grown children's futures. I suggested something simple: stop watching the morning news and take 2 60-second breathing breaks each day. Inhale slowly through the nose, exhale gently through the mouth, and let your thoughts pause. 3 months later, his number 4, late night eating. Now, let's talk about the fourth longevity killer, a habit that seems harmless, even comforting after a long day: eating dinner too late or snacking before bed. For many people, this feels like a little reward at the end of the day. Sitting back, watching TV, and enjoying something sweet or salty feels like a relaxing ritual. But according to research led by Dr. Harris, this simple habit is actually one of the biggest disruptors of the body's natural rejuvenation process. Here's how it works. When we fall into deep sleep, the body switches into repair mode, a crucial phase where cells detoxify and regenerate. This process, called autophagy, allows the body to remove damaged cells and replace them with new, healthy ones. At the same time, natural growth hormones are released to restore tissues, and the brain flushes out toxins that build up throughout the day. However, when you eat too late at night, your body is forced to choose between two tasks: digestion or repair. Unfortunately, digestion always wins. Instead of using sleep time to heal, your body works overtime to process food in your stomach. As a result, cellular repair is delayed, and that's why some people can eat healthy food yet still wake up tired, heavy, and unrefreshed. This problem becomes even more serious with age. The digestive system slows down, and what used to take 3 hours to process might now take 5 or 6. So, if someone eats dinner at 8 p.m., their body may still be digesting food past midnight, right when it should be focused on cell regeneration. In fact, studies show that late-night eating can reduce the release of the body's natural growth hormone by up to 70%. That means your body loses one of its most powerful tools against aging. I remember a patient named Mrs. Anderson, a 71-year-old retired nurse from Chicago. She had a habit of snacking every night, sometimes nuts, yogurt, or fruit, while watching her favorite drama series. Even though her snacks were healthy, she complained that her weight never went down and she always woke up exhausted. We made just one small change: stop eating after 6 p.m. The results were astonishing. In 3 months, Mrs. Anderson lost about 15 pounds without changing her lunch menu at all. She began sleeping deeply again and woke up feeling as energetic as she did in her 50s. The key, it turns out, is simple. Follow Dr. Harris's rule. Close your kitchen 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. If you sleep at 10 p.m., make sure your last bite is no later than 7 p.m. If you crave a snack, replace it with a glass of water or warm herbal tea. Create a nighttime ritual. After dinner, clean the kitchen, turn off the lights, and brush your teeth. This sends a powerful signal to your brain that eating time is over. Try this practice for just 1 week. You might be amazed by how much your sleep quality and daily energy improve. Now I want to ask, has late-night eating become your habit too? Be honest with yourself and type yes or no in the comments below. Number 5, social isolation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the 5th and final longevity killer. In many ways, this one is the most surprising, and perhaps the most important of them all. Findings from Dr. Harris, a gerontologist from Chicago, revealed something that has nothing to do with food, drink, or exercise. It's not about what you eat. It's not about your daily habits. It's about how you feel. The feeling in question is loneliness. After studying hundreds of long-lived seniors across the United States, from Austin, Texas, to San Diego, California, Dr. Harris discovered something shocking. Social isolation kills faster and more certainly than smoking, obesity, or a sedentary lifestyle. Strong social connections aren't just emotional needs, they are biological necessities that keep the body and mind healthy well into old age. When someone feels alone for too long, the body interprets it as an emergency. Dr. Harris's research shows that loneliness triggers chronic inflammation throughout the body, an effect even more harmful than smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. The body essentially lives in a constant state of alert, flooded with the stress hormone cortisol, which speeds up the aging process. And as we age, the risk of isolation increases. We retire from jobs that once kept us socially connected. Our children grow up and get busy with their own lives. Sometimes, we lose a spouse or close friends. Slowly, emptiness creeps in, and without realizing it, we get used to solitude. One invitation declined becomes 2, then 3. Eventually, the house turns into a quiet little world of its own. But the consequences go far beyond sadness. Loneliness can destroy health. If lately you've been feeling low, unmotivated, or mentally foggy, it might not be a medical problem. It might be a human connection problem. Your body and brain may simply be craving meaningful interaction. A large-scale study in the U.S. found that social isolation increases the risk of premature death by up to 50%, yes, 50%, higher than many major diseases we know. Loneliness is also strongly linked to heart disease, stroke, and dementia. I still remember Mr. Johnson, a 75-year-old widower from Portland, Oregon. For decades, his wife had been his best friend. After she passed away, Mr. Johnson withdrew from the world. He stopped attending church gatherings, quit his morning coffee group, and rarely picked up the phone. Within months, his body grew frail, and his thoughts became dull. But his children refused to give up. With love and patience, they encouraged him to join a local morning walking club in the city park 3 times a week. At first, he resisted. But slowly, those small steps changed everything. Mr. Johnson began to make new friends, to laugh again, and, most importantly, to rediscover his reason to wake up each morning. Amazingly, his health began to improve. His energy returned, his face looked brighter, and it all started with one simple thing: human connection. So, what's the secret to your long life? It's beautifully simple: one meaningful social interaction every day. That doesn't mean you need to attend parties. Just call an old friend, chat for a few minutes with a neighbor, or join a small community event at your local church or senior center. It's not about how many people you talk to, it's about how deeply you connect. Please, never accept loneliness as destiny. It is not a natural part of aging, it's a condition that can and must be healed. After this video ends, take your phone and call someone. That single call might just save your life. And before we wrap up, let's remember the people who inspired us today. It's Mr. Baker, with his simple secret of a healthy breakfast. It's Mrs. Thompson, who learned to ease her joint pain not through pills, but with a glass of water. It's Mr. Williams, who calmed his mind and reduced stress through mindful breathing. It's Mrs. Davis, who regained her energy and sleep by simply closing her kitchen early. And of course, Mr. Johnson from Portland, who proved that sometimes, the best medicine isn't a pill, but a warm conversation in the morning sunshine. Their stories remind us of one powerful truth. True longevity isn't about adding more to life, it's about letting go of the things that quietly harm it. Your body has an incredible ability to heal and thrive, you just need to give it the chance. And great change doesn't come from giant leaps, but from one small, consistent step. So let me ask you, what's one small commitment you'll make after watching this video? Maybe tomorrow you'll prepare a healthy breakfast, drink more water, or simply call a relative you haven't spoken to in a while. Write your intention in the comments below. Your small action might inspire someone else to do the same. If this video has brought you value and hope, please press the like button. And to make sure you don't miss more meaningful content, subscribe to this channel now. That way, you'll become part of our Golden Age community, a place where we learn to age gracefully, healthily, and with wisdom. Finally, think of one person you love, someone who might need this message today. Share this video with them. Your simple act might become the beginning of a life-changing moment for them. Thank you for spending this time with me. Stay healthy, stay joyful, and may God bless your years with lasting wisdom and peace.